We are here again to do adding and subtracting fractions, but this time we have fractions that do not have the same common denominator. So before we can even do anything with this problem, such as subtracting them, we need to make sure that they have the same common denominator before we can do anything. So what we're going to do is that we're going to take a look at our two denominators, which is a 4 and a 5. The easiest way that we can do this is that we can just figure out where 4 and 5 cross. And look at that, 4 and 5 will give you a 20. So that means we are going to change our fraction so that we can have a denominator of 20. So let's first start off. We have 7 over 4. We need to make sure that they have a denominator of 20, and the only way to get from 4 to 20 is by multiplying it by 5. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to make a fraction of 5 over 5 right here. I am going to be subtracting because this subtraction is going to follow down here. My fraction over there is 8/5. To go to 20, again, if I'm at 5, the only way to get to 20 is going to be 4. So that means I will need to multiply by 4 over 4. So please notice that all I did was that if my first fraction is a 4 here, I just took this denominator here and made it on top and on bottom here. For this 5 right here, I needed the 4 from over on the other side. So that means I just did 4 times 4 here. Now your job is to change this fraction before you guys can start anything. So doing 7 times 5, 7 times 5 will get me 35. So my fraction is 35 over 4 times 5, which equals to 20, minus, keep the minus, 8 times 4, which equals to 32, and 5 times 4, which equals to 20. Now that you have the same common denominator, you can actually solve it out now. So 35 minus 32 is going to equal to 3, 0. So that means 35 minus 32 over 20. We are going to get 3 over 20 as our answer for the first one here. I'm going to move on to this bottom one right here, which is 23 over 2 plus 9 over 4. Now, a couple of ways that you guys can do this. All right, you can do 2 and 4 and do the same thing that we did here. All right, where you multiply this here by 4 over 4 or multiply this by 2 over 2. But what I want you guys to notice about this 2 and the 4 is that if I look at 2, 4 is actually a number here already. So my common denominator can actually be this 4 because I can change this 2 to become 4 by just multiplying this by a certain number. I don't have to change this one, I just have to change one of them. Now, if you guys are confused on how to do that, just go with it with this way. So that means for this, multiply 4 over 4, over here, multiply 2 over 2. All right, but I'm going to show you guys a different way to do this. All right, so I want a denominator of 4 because 2 has the 4 in its row. So to get to 4 is 2 times 2. So that means 23 over 2 multiply 2 over 2 plus 9/4, that stays the same. And notice I didn't multiply 9/4 by anything because 4 is the denominator that I want. Some math on the side, 23 times 2. 3 times 2 is equal to 6. 2 times 2 is equal to 4. So that means I'm going to have 46 over 2 times 2 is 4 plus 9 over 4. Once I have the same denominator, I can then add the top. So that means my new problem is 46 plus 9 over 4. 46 plus 9, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Carry the 1, 4 plus 1 is 5. That means our solution here is 55 over 4. All right, I'm gonna do one last one down here, 3 and 2. Okay, I'm just gonna go back to the method that I did first, which is, I just wanna figure out what 3 and 2 are going to be. So 3 and 2 are gonna get me 6. So let's start off. If I have 8/3, I'm going to take this denominator and do 2 over 2. Keep the subtraction, copy down the 3 over 2 here, and I take this 3 over here and do 3 over 3. Next, I start doing this. 8 times 2 is equal to 16. 3 times 2 is equal to 6. Keep the subtraction sign. 3 times 3 is equal to 9. 2 times 3 is equal to 6. Now that they have the same common denominator, all you guys need to do is deal with the top. 16 minus 9 over 6. Some work on the side. 16 minus 9, borrow 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, which is 7. So that means our answer is 7 over 6 for this one here. All right, please try the rest of them on your own.